Good day, grade 12 learners. Welcome to today's Consumer Studies lesson. My name is Lillian Dube, and this lesson is brought to you by the Northern Cape Department of Education in collaboration with Pagama Research and Development. Today, grade 12s, we are looking at housing and interior, and our topic is on buying household appliances. Firstly, I want us to go back home, just look back home in your mind and think about the household appliances. What household appliances do you have at home? Right, at home, we have got stoves, we have got microwaves, we have got refrigerators, we have got vacuum cleaners as the appliances. There is even more, but I've just mentioned a few or the most common ones that we use at home. So today we want to find out how to buy the household appliances, the choices that we make when we buy our household appliances. And we also want to look at their functionality. Are they doing the work that we want? Right. So we go on to our objectives. We want to identify household appliances. I have already identified the household appliances for you, right? We also want to explain the factors to consider when shopping for household appliances. We also want to evaluate the specific criteria when choosing household appliances. We also want to discuss the financial and contractual responsibilities when buying our furniture and household appliances. Right, learners, we also go on to the terminology, some of the terms that we are going to use in this topic. We have got the first term, which is watt. That is the amount of energy a device uses to operate. So we measure our energy using watt, or we check the wattage of our appliances, right? And then voltage is the energy that is required to move an electrical charge along a circuit, right? In South Africa, this is normally 220 volts, right? And then we have got another word which is important in this topic, a warranty. A warranty is a document containing a formal promise or assurance that an obligation will be fulfilled or that something is of a specified quality and durability, right? This we are referring to our appliances, right? Often it states that repairs of any defect will be at no cost to the buyer within a certain time after purchasing the appliance. Right, learners, we go on to buying our household appliances. Before you buy household appliances, there are certain things that come into your mind, right? Or there are certain factors that we consider when we buy our household appliances. You don't just wake up and say, okay, I'm going to buy a stove from the shop, and then you go out of the house, just get into any shop and buy the stove. No, it doesn't happen that way. There are so many things that come into our mind or that we have to consider, that we think about before buying the appliances. So one first point that we have to consider when buying our appliances are your needs. Do you exactly need that appliance, right? On the needs again, we also consider the size of the family. You cannot buy a one-plate stove when there are 5 members of the family. So you have to buy something that is going to satisfy your needs. You might need a 4-plate stove so that you cook all your dishes at once, right? And then we also look at the budget. Sometimes budget constraints hinder us a lot when we buy these household appliances. You might find that sometimes you need a 4-plate stove, but because of your budget, you find yourself just buying a 2-plate or a 1-plate stove. So you buy something that is within your budget. Buy something that you are able to pay for. Sometimes we buy things that are out of our budget, and then what happens? Those goods are repossessed at the end of the day. Right. And then your lifestyle. What kind of a person are you? Or what kind of lifestyle do you lead? So when you buy a stove, you find yourself buying a stove that has got an oven because you are one person that wants to do what? To bake all the time, or you are one person that wants to grill their food. That is, you are somebody who wants to eat healthy. So remember, grilled food is healthy, right? And then we go on to the amount of space available. You cannot buy a 4-plate stove when there is no place to place that stove in the house, or you are maybe living in a cramped 1-room house, then you buy a 4-plate stove. What happens? It will take all the space in the house. So we also look at the amount of space that is available. Sometimes we even go on to the point of measuring the appliance that you want to buy. Before buying it, you measure it and compare the size of that stove with the amount of space where you want to place the stove, right? And then your surrounding environment, that is the area that you are. Still, it goes on back to the amount of space that you have, has to do with the environment that you live in. Again, on the surrounding environment, we are looking at what kind of a place are you living in? Do you have electricity at that place? So if there is no electricity, then there is no need to buy an electrical stove. What do? You buy a gas stove, right? Sometimes we also consider whether the items are new or used. We sometimes buy used items. Why? Because they come cheaper. Although cheaper could be expensive, a used stove could break down anytime because it has been used before and you don't even have a guarantee for that stove because it's used or it's a second-hand item compared to something that is new. If it's new, then it comes with a guarantee and you are very much sure that it could last you a long time. And if it doesn't work, then you have the ability to take it back to the shop, right? And then the function of the appliance. Is it going to do exactly what you want? So we look at the functionality. Does it do the cooking that you want? Is the stove going to bake for you? Right? So that is under the function of the appliance. Sometimes we even find ourselves buying appliances that we don't even need, right? Some people buy coffee makers, they buy blenders, they buy food processors. At the end of the day, those things are never used. They just remain on the shelves there for a long time without being used. So what are we saying? We are saying buy something that you need. Buy something that is going to work for you. So That's why we are looking at those factors. We first check what we want to buy, why we want to buy it, what are we going to use it for, right? Let's go on, learners. Still on factors to consider when shopping for household appliances. We also consider the universal design features and ease of operating the appliances. Do you still remember, learners, about universal design that we did in grade 10? Right. What is universal design? Universal design is the design of furniture or appliances so that everyone can use them despite their physical disabilities, right? Also, despite their age, right? When we did universal design in grade 10, we said stoves are designed in such a way that when you are cooking, you don't have to bend until you have a backache. When we go to grade 1 classes, you find that they've got chairs designed for them because they are still younger and smaller. They cannot sit on adult chairs. Otherwise, they will have their feet hanging the whole day until they feel very uncomfortable. Apparently, they'll be very uncomfortable and it's difficult for them to sit on adult chairs or to climb onto adult chairs. So here I'm trying to explain universal design, that the appliances or the furniture is designed in such a way that anybody, despite their physical disabilities, are able to use the appliances or the furniture. Right, so universal design features are very important when we choose appliances or when we buy appliances, right? Appliances come with instructions, they come with a manual so that you are able to read on how to operate the appliance. Some of them come with just buttons that we press so that we can use them. And against those buttons, they come with something that is written and also diagrams, so that if you cannot read, you can actually look at the diagram and then you know what you are supposed to do, right? And then the next point is gas or electricity utilities that you already have. I have already explained on this point that you cannot buy an electrical stove when there is no electricity wherever you are living. Let's say it's a rural area where there is no electricity around and you decide to buy a stove, right? What kind of a stove would you buy? Obviously, you'd buy a gas stove that is going to be used at that particular area. If you buy an electric stove, then how are you going to use it when there is no electricity in the area? So those are some of the things that come into our minds before we go and purchase our appliances, right? The next point is safety of use, right? Almost all the appliances are designed to be safe for us to use. You cannot buy something that is not safe to use unless if you have not read the manual on how to use it, then maybe you use it in the wrong way, then it becomes a safety hazard, right? And then the installation. Some of these appliances are difficult to install. We even have to find ourselves having to spend more money so that they can install the appliances for you. So some of these appliances have to be easy to install for us. So before buying the appliance, check if it is easy to install, or would you need somebody to assist you and charge you an extra amount for the installation of that particular appliance, right? And then we go on to comprehensiveness and length of warranty. Sometimes I've discovered that we get so much amused, or we are happy to acquire an appliance. We don't even check the terms and conditions of buying when buying that appliance. One of the most important things is a warranty on an appliance. If you buy an appliance without a warranty, what if it breaks down? It only comes into your mind after the appliance have broken down, maybe a month or two after buying that washing machine that you value so much. It just breaks down in the middle of nowhere and it's no longer washing. Then you start thinking about the warranty. If an appliance comes with a warranty, then you are able to take it back to the shop so that they send it back to the manufacturer. It's either they can replace the item, they can refund you, or they can repair it. But you also discover that a warranty comes with a certain period. It's given a certain period of time before it expires. So warranties, for example, it will be given a 2-year warranty, a 3-year warranty. Some would actually say 6 months warranty, because maybe it's a used item, they can only give you 6 months. So those are some of the most important things that we consider when buying our appliances. And then also check the price of the appliance. What do we do when we are shopping? We always have to shop around and compare the prices. Have you ever experienced maybe sometimes you want to buy something, you just walk into a shop, you buy that item, you go out. The minute you go out of that shop, you'll discover that there are many other shops that are selling that item at a much cheaper price. They'll be selling the same item at a cheaper price. So what are we saying? We are saying that shop around and compare prices before buying. Do not do what we call impulsive shopping or impulsive buying. Shop around for better prices and better options. Right. And then the other most important thing is the payment terms. Sometimes we are not able to pay a lump sum for our appliances. So we look for different options of buying our appliances, or different payment term options. So which payment term options do we have? Right? We have got what we call lay-bys. We have got what we call installment sales agreement, or sometimes we use what we call credit installments, right? So we will discuss these further as we go on into our lesson. Right. Let's go on to the energy consumption of appliances. Sometimes we buy appliances without looking at the amount of energy that these appliances use. Remember, electricity is expensive and we have to try and use it sustainable. And water is also a scarce resource in our country, and we also need to save as much water as we can. So when we buy these appliances, we have to consider some of those things. How much electricity does this appliance use? How much water does this appliance use? Right? We don't want at the end of the day to pay more and more electricity for an appliance to such an extent that you end up not using the washing machine that you bought, because it uses a lot of water, it uses a lot of electricity, and that goes into, or it goes deeper into our pockets. We have to fork out more and more money so that we use our appliances. So what we do is we buy what we call energy efficient appliances. So on the energy consumption, we said non-human energy. When we are talking about non-human energy, we are saying you don't have to do anything as a human. It doesn't use your energy. All you do is just press a button and the clothes are washed. All you do is just take them out to hang them. Sometimes we don't even hang them because we have a washing machine with a combination of a dryer in the washing machine. Then everything is done. All we do is take out the clothes, fold them, and put them wherever. So we are talking about non-human energy, where we don't use our energy when using these appliances. So the more energy efficient the appliance is, the less it costs to run, right? And then using less energy is good for our environment. Remember, we have to save our environment. We have to sustain the environment, right? So you remember, reduce, reuse, and recycle. That is environmental sustainability, so that the future generation can find these resources and use them. We don't want to deplete our water. We don't want to deplete our electricity, right? So using less energy is good for the environment. It reduces air pollution and also help to conserve the natural resources that we have. Right. So all appliances must reflect an energy efficiency. I'm sure you have seen energy efficiency on appliances, and appliances are ranked on an energy efficiency scale A to G, with A being the most efficient, right? A being the most efficient and G being the least efficient. So this is the energy efficiency ranking. This one on my far right, if you can see there, this A is much, much greener, meaning it conserves the environment. And then G is the least efficient. So I'm sure you have seen some of these labels on our refrigerators, our washing machines, and you have wondered what they mean. So they are actually rankings for efficient energy use, or the saving of our energy. Like we said, A is for efficient and G is least efficient. Right. Let's go on, learners. And then non-human energy, again, the amount of electricity needed to run an appliance is measured in watt. You remember we talk about kilowatts when we use our electricity meters, or when we buy electricity for our electricity meters at home, we use watts, right? So your electricity bill is based on the number of kilowatt hours. So it's written as kWh. So when you buy your electricity, just check how much kilowatt hours are you going to use. So a kilowatt is 1000 watts, and a kilowatt hour is 1000 watts used in an hour. So how many kilowatts per hour does your appliance use? So go back home and check how many kilowatts does the appliance that you have at home use per hour. Or maybe it will be written 750 kWh. That is, it uses 750 kilowatts per hour, right? And then we go on to human energy. So we are talking about the energy consumption of our appliances, right? Is it a non-human energy or human energy? Do you use your energy or you don't use your energy when using that appliance? So human energy is the capacity to do work or to perform vigorous activity. For example, there is a picture there of somebody who is washing clothes. What happens when you wash your clothes? You apply a lot of force and vigor so that you can remove the dirt out of the clothes. What is happening there? It means you are using your own energy to wash the clothes, right? So household appliances in general are labor saving because they help to preserve human energy by reducing the physical effort needed to perform manual tasks. So to save human energy, when we are washing, what do we use? We use washing machines instead of using our hands. So some of these appliances, we call them labor-saving devices. It means they save our energy. Our labor is saved. Instead of washing the clothes, wringing them, rinsing them, and also putting them on the line, we are using our energy. We just press a button and everything is what is done. So it means human energy has been saved. Right. We often use electrical equipment out of habit when a manual appliance would also do the same, e.g., using an electric can opener instead of a manual one. Sometimes there is no need to use some of these electrical appliances. Just use a manual can opener. You don't use much energy, do we? Instead of cutting the veggies, you just take an electrical cutter and use it. Why not cut the veggies yourself? There isn't much energy that is used, right? And then we go on to the universal design features. I have already explained universal design to you learners. Like we said, we did universal design in grade 10. Right. So universal design features increase the usability of these appliances, making them simpler to use, quieter, and equipped with dials and controls that are easier to operate and read. So some of these dials, like we said, they come with diagrams on them. On top of that diagram again, there is something written for you to read on how to use the dials. For example, we have got a stove there that comes with switches. On those switches, apparently, there is numbers that are written. And sometimes the knobs of the stoves come with the dots showing that this is the stove at the back, this one is the stove at the front, this one is the one on your right, again the right back stove and the right front stove. So they actually have got small dots that show that are actually drawn. There's a drawing with the hob or the stove plate, and then that dot comes at the bottom, meaning this is the bottom left stove. So it's easier for people who cannot even read to operate those kind of stoves that come with those dials, right? So remember again, universal design is the design of furniture and appliances so that each and every person is able to use them despite their physical disabilities or their age, right? And then universal design features, we have got desirable universal design appliance features, right? We have got on our appliances, we've got controls on appliances, that is the knobs that we use or the controls that we use to switch on and to switch off. Sometimes we've got display on labels of appliances. Right, the first one is refrigerators and freezers. We have got double door refrigerators that come with shelves, isn't it? The shelves are easy to remove and they are made out of glass. You can easily remove them and clean them instead of a rack. So the later development is that refrigerators come with glass shelves so that they are easy to remove. They just slide out and you can clean it and take it back. Again, refrigerators come with the numbers or the things that are written outside the refrigerator help you to operate the refrigerator with ease. And the doors of refrigerators have got grooves that you are able to put your hand and open it without any difficulties, right? Also, our stoves and ovens, as I've explained, they also come with dials that we just press and be able to get the temperatures that we want. Also, some of the ovens come with lights inside so that you don't need to open the oven when you want to check whether your food is cooked or not. You can just switch on the light in the oven and you see what is happening inside, whether the scones are burning or they are well done or they need to be removed. So you just check using the light that comes with the oven. And then washing machines and tumble dryers, these also come with dials or just buttons that we press. Some of them apparently you just touch the button or touch the touch operation that comes with the washing machine so that it washes immediately. And then those touch buttons come with some information that is written there on a washing machine, right? Do you want a normal wash, or do you want a gentle wash, or do you want a heavy wash? Do you want to just rinse the clothes, or do you want to spin dry them? So everything is written on the machine. So that is some of the universal design features of these appliances. Also, the dishwashers will also show you the placings or the temperature that you need to wash your dishes, right? Also, microwave ovens also come with the written information that you can heat for 30 seconds, you press 30 or 10 seconds for you to heat the food. And sometimes they come written defrost or manual defrost or cook, and all those kinds of information are universal design features that come with our appliances, right? And then we go on to the water consumption of our appliances. Remember, we said water is a very scarce resource in South Africa, and we have to use it sparingly, or we have to use it efficiently without wasting our water, right? So when buying our household appliances, we check their water efficiency. Look for a washing machine that uses about 50 liters per wash. So the twin tub machines use the least water, while top loaders use the most water. So I'm going to go back to that point again. Twin tub machines use the least water, and top loaders use the most water. Right. I'm sure we have an idea of what a twin tub machine is, or a twin tub washing machine is. A twin tub comes with 2 drums, the one for washing and the other one for rinsing. So what happens is, after you have washed, it has washed and finished, then you'll have to wring the clothes and throw them into the rinsing drum. Right. And then for dishwashers, we must look for one that uses 15 liters per wash. So cutting down on the amount of water saves on energy and our utility costs. Right? We go on then as to our household appliances again. We want to look at the environmental impact of the household appliances. What impact do they have on our environment? Right? Household appliances have an environmental impact in all the phases of their life cycle. What do we mean? It means that the amount of energy they take to produce, to package, to transport, to install, and to also dispose of them when we don't need them, right? With time, we find ourselves disposing our appliances because they are beyond repair, or we no longer need them, or they are no longer doing the function that they are supposed to do. Right. So the biggest environmental impact occurs when appliances are in use. That is, they use energy and they also consume a lot of water. So we must control appliances' energy and their water consumption. For example, how do you control the consumption of water when using a washing machine? When we wash just a small amount of clothes, just fewer clothes, what do? We control the water levels of the washing machine. You actually select the water level or the lowest level of water so that you don't use the whole drum for just a few clothes that you are washing. So we are supposed to control our appliances during their use so that we save our energy and we also save the water. Right. Then minimum energy performance standard. Right. So minimum energy performance standard is MEPS. That's what it stands for. So these help you to choose products that are less harmful to the environment. So electrical and electronic waste, we call it e-waste, right? Please take note, e-waste, or waste electrical or electronic equipment. It's written as WEE, which stands for electrical or electronic equipment that is waste. How do we dispose of them? So WEE is the term that is used to describe old, end of life, or discarded electrical appliances. So we sometimes call it e-waste or electronic or electrical equipment. Right. So how do we dispose of our electronics or our electrical appliances? Right. Sometimes they become a hazard to the environment or to the people out there. If you just discard them, just throwing them out without sending them for recycling, it means children can play around with some of those things. And like we said, they come with hazardous substances that can be a health hazard to the children, to the people, and to the animals around us. Right? So, e-waste contains recyclable materials such as metal, glass, and plastics that can be reused or create new products. Right? However, e-waste also contains hazardous materials that require special handling methods. So those people who recycle them actually know how to handle them so that they do not become a hazard to our environment. So remember, e-waste or WEE